everyone, it's Meg, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my TBR for the Mental Health Readathon 2020. I am in this little setup again. I don't think my camera is quite the same angle, but I felt like just chilling here on the floor with no makeup because I have not been wearing makeup since I was last in work, which is over 2 weeks ago. So, you know, that's super fun, but I thought I would just sit and talk to you guys about my TBR for the Mental Health Readathon. If you've never heard of this readathon, it was held for the first time last year and is created and hosted by Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books, and I didn't get a chance to take part last year because I only realised it existed halfway through May, and this readathon happens throughout the entirety of May, so from the 1st to the 31st of May, and it is obviously centred around reading mental health books, and I'm so excited to be taking part this year. I have been slowly getting my TBR together since like February or something ridiculous, but I'm so excited to be actually taking part this year, and I am just going to talk to you guys about all the books that I'm hoping to read. Obviously at the moment we all have a bit more time on our hands and there are a lot of readathons going on, but I'm so excited to do this, and there is a bingo board for the challenges of the sort of books you can read, and I don't think I'm going to be able to accomplish all of them. Because there's maybe some books that I don't want to read, or I'm not a fast reader, as you guys should know, so I don't think I'm not going to complete my entire TBR for this video, but a girl can try. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first challenge is to read the group book, and I'm not going to do that because the book that it is, I can't even remember what it's called, but I have seen this book around and it's not something that I'm interested in, so personally I'm not going to do that challenge. And the second challenge is to read a host's pick, and I'm probably going to do it based on books that I already have. I don't have the book that is Nicole's pick, but I do have the other two hosts' picks, so it's either going to be between Turtles All the Way Down by John Green or Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I have read this twice already. It's one of my favourite books. They're both one of my favourite books. And I do want to read Eleanor Oliphant though, and I do have the audiobook for it as well, so I was thinking of reading along with the audiobook. So I don't know, we're going to see. This is considerably chunkier than this, so I should probably go for this one, but I'm going to try and go for one of these. But one of my the majority of the other books on my TBR are going to be my priorities. I might try and read one of these towards the end of the month depending, but this is one of the only two prompts that I'm not as bothered if I don't complete it or not. The next challenge is to read a book to learn more about a certain type of mental illness, and for that I'm choosing Winter Girls by Laurie Halse Anderson, and this is about eating disorders, and I have never read a book solely about eating disorders before. I've probably read a couple of books where it's touched upon, but never where the main character is struggling with eating disorders, and it's something that I've always wanted to read more about. There's a couple of books on my TBR, not on in this video, but just in general, my general TBR that I'd really like to get to, featuring eating disorders, and I've heard so many good things about this book. I know so many people love it, and I'm so glad I finally managed to get myself a copy. So that is what I'm going to do for this challenge, and there is also a challenge to read a book with green on the cover, because that is the colour for the ribbon for the mental health awareness, and this is the only book on my TBR that seems to currently have green, or sort of green, like you probably can't see, it's like bluey green, so that might count. If not, I might end up rereading Heartstopper Volume 3. I was going to save this for the reading rush, but I don't know, it's got green on it and it's a quick read and I want to reread it. And this also counts because apart from being green, it also covers self-harm and eating disorders as well, but it's only touched on slightly in this compared to this book, so I may do this for the green challenge if not, but I might be a push and choose this book as well because I want to stack as many challenges as possible. The next challenge is to read the oldest mental health book you have on your TBR, and for this I have Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne, and I have been wanting to read this book for ages. I started reading Holly Bourne's works last year. I've read 2 of her novels, I really enjoyed both of them, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I know this is one of Nicole's favourite books of all time, and it deals with the OCD rep, which I've read a bit about in Turtles All the Way Down, and I don't know if I've read another book with OCD in actually. I think Titles All the Way Down is the only OCD rep that I have read about in a book, but I'm really looking forward to this, and I've heard so many good things about it, and it also deals with like feminism as well. So I'm just really looking forward to diving into this book and finally getting to it, because I also have the rest of the books here, so if I really enjoy this, then after this readathon is over I can carry on with the trilogy. The next challenge is to read the newest mental health book on your TBR, and for this I have All the Things We Never Said by Yasmin Raham, and I picked this up in January and I've been saving it since then for this readathon, and I don't know masses about it apart from the fact that it is about two or three different perspectives, and it deals with depression, anxiety, and these girls meet online and they form a suicide pact, and that's something that I've never read about before, so I'm interested to see what I think, and I have a feeling this is sort of like a thriller-esque aspect, either that or it's probably quite high intensity anyway, but I'm really interested to see what I think of this book, and I hope I enjoy it. I think it's going to be very engaging. I read the first page or two before I bought the book and I was definitely hooked right away, so hopefully this is one that I'm going to end up really enjoying. The next challenge is to read a non-fiction book about mental health, and for this I have an audiobook which is I Don't Want to Be Crazy, which is a memoir by Samantha Schutz. I have no idea how to pronounce her last name, but I came across this on a whim. It's been on my list on Scribd for a while and I thought I'd read it, and I have a feeling it's written in poetry. Yeah, it's a remarkable poetry memoir of one girl's struggle with anxiety disorder. So I don't really know much about this book apart from the fact that it's written poetry and it's a memoir and it's non-fiction and it's about mental health. So this is going to be one where I kind of go into blind, having no idea what it's about, but I am looking forward to giving it a go and seeing what I think, because I want to start reading more non-fiction books, and I guess this is a good place to start. The next challenge is to read a YA mental health book, and the majority of the books on this TBR count for this challenge, because the majority of the books I'm going to read for this readathon are young adult, but for this challenge I'm going to put it for A Tragic Kind of Wonderful by Eric Lindstrom, and I'm going to have this as my audiobook as well, and I've seen this book around for ages. I've heard some really good things about it. I don't know much apart from the fact that the main character deals with bipolar disorder, I believe, and I've only read one book with bipolar rep in before, which is Are We Lemons and Snowflakes by Holly Bourne, and I really enjoyed that book, so I'm looking forward to learning more about bipolar, because I think it's probably another mental illness that I am not super familiar with, so again it's another one that I'm really looking forward to learning more about and reading this book, since I've heard so many good things about it. And the last couple of books that are on this list are just books that do deal with mental health and I want to read them, so we're going to have these as extras. They could count as the majority couple of challenges, but these are just kind of miscellaneous, but they probably could count as well. So the first one is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, and I have not read this book in ages. I think the last time I read it must have been 2015, 2016. So I'm familiar with the story. I can't remember what mental health representation there is in this novel because it's been so long since I read it. But I feel like I did enjoy it. I feel like I would enjoy it more now as a kind of a bit more of an advanced reader. And I also have the audiobook for it, so I think it might be a case again where I follow along with the audiobook because my sister has a copy, so I'll probably read her copy for the challenge because I'd like to physically read it again. And like I said, I can listen along to the audiobook as well, so this is another book that I'm really looking forward to diving back into after a good number of years. And the last book that I have for this readathon is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, and I have been wanting to read this book for ages. I feel like it's the only classic that I have on my TBR that I really, really desperately want to read, and obviously I want to read it because it's by Sylvia Plath, who was a poet. It's her only novel that she ever wrote. I've heard mixed things about it. I feel like it's a book that I will personally really enjoy, and I do have the audiobook for it, but I know Nicole did listen to it for the Mental Healthathon last year and she wasn't a fan of the audiobook, so if I do this I will get myself a physical copy. So I don't know about that though, because at the moment I've got around 8 books on this TBR and I'm definitely not going to accomplish all of them. So I don't know about that, and I'm not sure what representation, I think it might be depression is the mental health representation in this novel, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know much about it apart from the fact that it's written by Sylvia Plath and I want to read it. So again, that's a book that I'm not like determined to get to for this readathon, but it's one that I definitely want to read very soon in general, just because it's a book that is just so enticing and interesting to me, so I want to read it and see what I think, because I feel like I would really enjoy it. So those are all the books that I'm hoping to read for the Mental Healthathon 2020, and I'm so excited to finally be taking part. And obviously I'm going to have quite a lot of time to read, most likely, because I don't think anything is going to be going back to normal anytime soon, unfortunately, but at least we all have this wonderful readathon that is a month long, and we just get to read lots of wonderful books and kind of educate ourselves more on mental health, as mental health novels are some of my favourite books to read. I am also going to be attempting, the keyword is attempting here, to weekly vlog for the entirety of this readathon, and last time I tried to do weekly vlogs for a whole month, I didn't finish doing it, which was for Vlogmas. I only ended up doing 3, but since I got a bit more time, hopefully I'll be okay and be able to edit them a bit better and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going to attempt to vlog my experience for this readathon because I'm so excited to be taking part, and yeah, hopefully I can keep up with the vlogs, so look out for at some point in May. Hopefully you will be getting 4 weekly reading vlogs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if you are taking part in Mental Healthathon, what are the books that you are hoping to read, what books are on your TBR for it, are you going to read any of the books that I have or any different ones? I'd love to know as always, as I'm always looking for new mental health book recommendations. If you like this video then please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more bookish videos from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon so you'll be noted every time I post a new video. As always, I will leave links to my social media along with links to my Goodreads in the description down below for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!